some Otocinclus catfish, and you're trying to figure out how to feed them. I'm pretty new to fishing. Is that the right term? No, it's not the right term. I'm pretty new to fish keeping. Just got a couple smaller tanks. One's 30, the other's 9. Anyways, we have Otocinclus in both algae eaters, and a lot of people think that they can just survive by eating the algae in your tank, but apparently that's only not so much true. They do need to be supplementally fed. I'm making this video because I have found something that actually works, that I've actually seen them eating. If you look through YouTube, you get people telling you to feed them various things, like zucchini, cucumber, let's see what else, green beans, pepper, sweet bell peppers. And I've tried all of these things. Occasionally that will work. I've occasionally seen them on a cucumber. Rare occasion, I think, on a slice of pepper. So far zucchini hasn't worked. The green beans hasn't worked, for us at least. So I did find something that has worked. Now, here's what it is, and here's how I feed it to them. So I found that tubifex worms will help. They'll actually eat them. Or sorry, tubifex. Well, yes, it's called tubifex worms, and essentially it's freeze-dried bloodworms. Okay, and so I'll just show you what's in here. Okay, so that's what they look like, and it's basically like little hay bales, but of freeze-dried, compressed, dead worms, dead, very small bloodworms. Okay. So now, how do you do this though? People are saying, I think when we bought this, they're saying the way you feed tubifex worms to the fish is you take a cube and you press it on the inside of the glass, and it's supposed to stay there. We haven't had luck with that. That hasn't worked. And with Otocinclus fish, they're slower. They're not going to come right to the food. They're not going to take part in the kind of feeding frenzy when you first put in other food. So you kind of have to provide something for them that will be there and for some time, and allow them to kind of make their way to it, find their way to it. I found that it usually takes, at the beginning, it took a while for them to even find their way to the tubifex. It took at least 30 minutes. Now that they're used to it, now that they come to expect it, they go right to it. So anyways, here's what I do. This is a piece of driftwood. This piece of wood I picked up on a beach, and it's essentially been, it's like dried out, dried out from the sun. And the other thing that we did was we boiled it, okay? Or we poured boiling water over top of it. This is to kind of disinfect it. So what I've done is I've taken an elastic, just a regular rubber band, and I've just put it onto the stick, and then I've simply twisted it around several times. So I'll just show you so you get the idea. Okay. So basically just stick, rubber band, put the rubber band on the stick, and then just twist it, feed it back over, twist it again, feed it back over, twist it again, feed it back over, and do it until it's, relatively tight around the stick so that you can use it to hold the tubifex in place. Okay? So then, just trying to get over the little hump here where there is a little branch shooting off. So then this is kind of tricky part. I take 1 or 2 strands, okay, So I'm just going to take one for this demonstration so it doesn't take too long. Pull it up. It's going to be tight. So I take one finger, okay, hold it up like that. So there's room to slip in the tubifex underneath. Then I just, let the band go and have it apply pressure to the tubifex so it holds it in place. Okay, so that's what we're working with. And I'll show you what I have here, what I'm working with. So there's our bigger tank. Here's the tank that I'm using today. It's a Fluval, and it's freaking awesome. So anyways, stick with tubifex. Tubifex. No, they're not sending me a check in the mail, unfortunately. Okay, so all I do is I place the stick in. We have some wood in here that's acting as, I don't know how well this is going to show up, probably not too well. There's the beta. So anyways, I essentially, you put it on an angle so it's propped up against the wood, because the stick does rise, okay? So I do that, kind of have it on an angle, and then what I'm going to do is close the lid on top of it. So I'm just going to put the phone to the side so I can do that. Okay, and that's what we do. You can see this is the top of the stick here. We got the lid. Turn the light on. Okay, and then we have the stick on an angle, and then we have this piece of wood here. Okay, kind of like a nice archway. It's really cool. And I've got the stick underneath it, so when it's raising, it's being held up by the kind of archway. And that's that, guys. And in not too long, I have 2 autos in here. They will make their way to the tubifex, and you'll see they like the stick too. You know, if you have autos, I find that they like just hanging onto the stick. You know what I mean, with their mouth, kind of thing. So that's that. I found it works really great, and it works every time. You know, it's not hit or miss like the vegetables. So that's that, guys. Hope it helps. Tubifex worms, stick, elastic band, good to go. Okay, thank you guys. Take care. Okay, so I thought I'd just wrap the video up actually by showing you my other tank. And, also mentioning that this is a great way to feed shrimp, at least a mono shrimp. My mono shrimp really, really take to the sticks with the freeze-dried bloodworms, the Cubifex, anytime I put them in the tank. So I know there's some glare right now. It's kind of midday. There we go. Now we got some focus. So as you can see, same kind of thing, just another stick. Being held down by the lid here, and I've got it propped up on an angle a little bit on this kind of bridge wood, we'll call it, to keep it in place. Then you see the rubber band, and there was Cubifex on there, but this guy got to it, and his compadres. So made quick work of it. And just as a side note, guys, can you see those eggs on his hindquarters there? Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, I guess it's a she, isn't it? She's hanging on to him. They're kind of, I've never seen this before with them. They're kind of hanging out, almost like there's a web holding them together, and you can see them kind of flopping around there. And she's moving water over them now to keep them oxygenated, but you can see her going now. So just thought that was neat. We have a bamboo shrimp. You see him in the back here, in the little spiral thing. I also got this from a beach, local beach. And so we have a bamboo flower shrimp. And if you're gonna have a bamboo flower shrimp, it's also good to have these Amano shrimp. Because when she releases these eggs, they're gonna make a nice little meal for the bamboo shrimp. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. You know, and don't be sad, like the Amano shrimp eggs, they won't be able to procreate unless you have really brackish water, really salty water. So the eggs would just be going to waste anyways. So now this way they act as a nice nutritious meal for, where's my finger? For this guy. Okay, you see him there? Bamboo shrimp, flower shrimp, and the whole rest of the tank. All the fish really love eating the shrimp eggs. So it is what it is. So anyways, guys, again, I hope this helped. So if you want to feed your Otocinclus catfish and you can't figure out how to do it, this is a great way. And if you just want to kind of treat your shrimp, this is a great way too. And the other fish, you know, they'll peck at it as well. So hope this helps, guys. Hope you're well. Take care.